Welcome to Flicks What the Fuck channel.
Without any further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So today I will show you a super tense thriller film from 2016, called Inside. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. In the middle of a rainy night, Sarah Clark, a pregnant woman with his husband Matt, were driving on their way home. Suddenly the baby inside her kicked and she was shocked. She didn't focus on the road, resulting in a collision with a car from the opposite direction. Their car rolled over and over and over. Sarah and her baby survived with a couple of heavy wounds, but sadly her husband Matt didn't make it. Few months passed and Sarah started recovering from the accident. She is currently visiting the doctor for her routine check. The doctor told her that her baby is very healthy. Hearing this, she felt glad and happy and went back home. Though the accident made her lost her hearing and forced to use hearing aids. It also traumatized her from driving alone. That night was Christmas night. Sarah is preparing herself for her child's delivery, which was due on that night. Isaac, her neighbor and best friend, came for a visit. Both of them exchanged Christmas presents and talked for a while. Then he invited her to stay for dinner at his house. In their conversation, her mom called and decided to come over to Sarah's house to accompany her. Sarah is used to leaving the house keys inside of the mailbox on the front of her house, letting her mom to come inside without disturbing anybody. Not long after she fell asleep on the sofa, she woke up when her dog broke a glass. Out of nowhere someone knocked on the doorhouse. She noticed that this is a stranger, as her mom would just come in with the keys she left. She started asking the person outside about his/her identity. Then the person responded with a woman's voice claiming her car was broken and needed to make a call. Scared and suspicious, she lied, telling the woman that her husband is asleep. And then the stranger outside replied, "Isn't your husband dead, Sarah?" Hearing that, she got more frightened and called the police right away. She also called Isaac to come immediately to her house, but he didn't pick up. Sarah instantly closed all the window curtain to block the vision from the outside. Meanwhile, the police arrived at her home and 2 officers asked her what happened. Sarah continued explaining the appearance of a suspicious woman around her property. The police searched her house and asked her about the woman, but she can't explain it in detail. With that note, the officers can't find any sign of the woman and left her house. After calming herself, she gets ready to sleep as she turns off the light and took off her hearing aid. Soon it started to rain, followed with thunder in the background. Suddenly her dog started to bark as if there is someone inside the house. Without her hearing aid, she doesn't notice all the noises. From the darkness appeared a silhouette of a woman standing near the window staring at Sarah. This mysterious woman approached Sarah and started to drug her. She turned on the lights and opened her suitcase. The suitcase was filled with medical equipment. She prepared infusion and put it on Sarah. She washed her hands, and at the same time Sarah began to regain consciousness. With her head still dizzy, Sarah put her hearing aid on. Not long after, the woman came back to the room. Noticing Sarah is now awake, she started attacking Sarah. Sarah fought back by hitting the woman on the head using the lamp beside her bed. She managed to run into her bathroom while the woman was chasing her. She got inside and locked the door. Unknowingly, Sarah's wrist was wrapped with bandage, having its end on the outside of the bathroom. The woman started pulling the bandage, dragging Sarah, slamming her onto the door. She tried ripping the bandage apart, but she can't. She began reaching for the scissors and succeeded in cutting the bandage. Sarah asked the woman about her intentions, but there was no reply. Suddenly Sarah's phone rang and the woman checked on the phone. Turns out it was Isaac who called Sarah. The woman turned down the call. Meanwhile, Sarah broke the mirror with a hairdryer. She was planning to use pieces of the mirror as a weapon to defend herself. Not long after, the woman came back and told Sarah to get out of the bathroom as her baby's delivery is going to happen soon. Suddenly Sarah felt a contraction. She then painfully sat on the floor. The woman, with panic on her face, started banging on the door, but she can't open it. The woman left the door as Sarah is trying to control her breath. But a new problem occurred as her hearing aid suddenly screeches and ringing inside her ear, indicating that it was broken. She took it off and began to cry as she was clueless of the situation she is in and why the woman wanted to kill her. The woman went downstairs to look for a knife, while all of a sudden someone rang the bell. At the same time, Isaac entered the house. Cleverly, the woman pretended to be Sarah's mother and began acting nice towards Isaac. Noticing the silence upstairs, Sarah used the chance to get out while holding on a piece of broken mirror. Due to not wearing her hearing aid, she didn't know Isaac was downstairs. She heads to her room to look for her phone but didn't find it. She then noticed there was oxytocin which already used, explaining the contraction she got. Sarah grabbed a new hearing aid and hid behind the door. Meanwhile, the woman accompanied Isaac outside, then he met Sarah's real mother and caused a confusion for the both of them. Her mother rushes upstairs, but Sarah, mistaking her for the woman, stabs her in the throat with the glass, killing her. Her mother was dead by her own arms, due to the fact that she didn't know of her arrival. Isaac rushes upstairs and witnesses the scene, but the woman stabs him in the back with a butcher knife and killing him. Sarah once again ran towards the bathroom while being chased by the woman. The woman managed to prevent Sarah from locking the door by inserting her hand inside. While attacking Sarah with a knife, the woman kept trying to get inside. Sarah fought back and succeeded in locking the door. In this situation, Sarah got contraction again, while also mourning for her mother's and Isaac's death. At that moment, the woman heard a phone ringing from Isaac's pocket. It was Brian, Isaac's husband. As the woman was busy with Isaac's phone, Sarah tried breaking the window and asked for help from the outside. Coincidentally, Brian saw Sarah. Due to the heavy rain, Brian can't hear Sarah's words. Suddenly, the woman was already behind Brian. Sarah tried warning him, but it was useless. The woman killed Brian and stared Sarah with rage in her eyes. Sarah intended to go from the bathroom, but the woman had blocked the door with a table, making her unable to get out. Sarah starts hitting the door, making a hole on the door in the process. She tried moving the table, that is when the woman pulled her hand. Sarah lets go of the woman's grip, and instantly the woman inserts her arm into the hole trying to unlock the door. Quickly, Sarah grabbed the piece of mirror, injuring the woman's arm. Fortunately, Mike and his partner, the police officer, are still patrolling around her neighborhood. The woman immediately cleaned herself up and gets ready to meet the police. While she was downstairs, Sarah got out of the room. But knowing Sarah is pregnant, Mike starts to suspect something fishy and start entering the house. At the same time, Sarah went down the stairs screaming for help. Without hesitation, the woman stabbed Mike's face with the knife she was holding. Assumed dead, Mike attacked and started choking the woman. They fought, but the woman grabbed the knife, using it to stab Mike to death. The woman seeks for Sarah upstairs. When she is off guard, Sarah hit the woman. Unexpectedly, another officer entered the house seeking for Mike. Once he found Mike, he was already long gone. Sarah used the chance to run downstairs and told the police about the woman who tried to kill and take her baby. The officer didn't believe her and forced Sarah to go upstairs searching for the woman she talked about. The woman was gone. She was supposed to be knocked out by Sarah. Suddenly, the electricity went down. Sarah was sure the woman was already downstairs. Eventually, the officer believed that Sarah was the victim. Using his flashlight, the officer went downstairs to turn the electricity back on. When the light went back, the woman points a gun onto the officer's head. She then shot her to death. Sarah heard the gunshots and rushed downstairs to check on the situation. Unluckily, she met the woman and tried to run and hide in the kitchen. Sarah tried attacking the woman, but the woman manages to gain the upper hand, knocking her onto the ground. When the woman was getting ready to cut Sarah's belly with a scissor, dying Mike was giving Morse code through his radio. The woman was distracted and killed Mike, and went back to her business with Sarah. Sarah hit the woman with a flashlight. She fought the woman with all her force, but she fell and started feeling pain on her stomach. The woman panicked as she doesn't want the baby to get hurt. When the woman was off guard, Sarah took a camera and starts hitting her head over and over, knocking her out. Sarah left the house and got in the officer's car. She reported the situation using the radio. After reporting, she was going to leave using the car, but the woman was already beside the passenger door. Sarah kept trying to turn on the car and stepped on the gas while the woman was choking her. Intentionally, Sarah crashed the car onto a pole, knocking out both of them. Sarah was the first to regain consciousness. She starts running and screamed for help to her neighbors. She kept running further away from the woman and entered an empty house. There she found a camera that turns out was pointing towards her home. She also found a few photos of Sarah's unborn baby. some documents about baby delivery, anesthetic, and she finally realized the house was the woman's hideout. Soon she heard the woman's noise as she entered the house. Sarah went hiding inside a cupboard. The woman seeks for Sarah. In the midst of tension, Sarah tried to stay calm. The woman was standing close to her and claimed she knew where she was hiding. Sarah got out. This time Sarah managed to inject the woman with anesthetic and ran. Turns out all the doors were locked by the woman. Sarah turned on the stove and began boiling water. With the intention of stalling the woman, she threatened the woman as if Sarah was trying to kill herself. But the woman grabbed the cutter from Sarah's hand. Sarah then poured the boiling water she had prepared for the woman and ran away. At the same time, police sirens could be heard. She screamed and hit the door, but nobody heard her. Sarah tried seeking for an exit. She found a back door and managed to get out. But she was still being chased by the woman. She ran and fell to the ground into a pool closed with a cloth on top of it. The woman approached Sarah stating why Sarah must give the baby to her. Turns out her name is Madeline. She was a car crash survivor involved with Sarah and her husband. Due to the accident, the woman lost her daughter's life while she was still in her stomach. That is why she wanted Sarah's baby. Hearing that, she was shocked and speechless. When the woman tried cutting Sarah's stomach using a cutter, Sarah fought back and torn the cloth of the pool. They both got into the pool and strangled underwater. Sarah failed to find a breathing hole, while Madeline went looking for the cutter on the bottom of the pool. Unexpectedly, Madeline spent all of her breath to help Sarah. When she was able to get out, she delivered the baby on top of the cloth. Not long after police came, she and her baby are saved. That's it. This video come to a close. Please subscribe, comment and like to support this channel. Goodbye until next time.